All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a game from, or sorry, not game, a series, a match from the Pen King of the Hills, July 2021. And first player up here at the bottom right, rocking the Happy Star. He's our blue Terran from Team Liquid. Give it up for Clem.
And his opponent spawning in the top left corner of the map, playing as the red Protoss for the team up. Storm Gaming, give it up for MAXPAX.
Unfortunately, he's not rocking the Happy Star.
Also, I do have to note that Clem is rocking that polar bear too. What an adorable cub. It's like double the luck, you know? First the happy face star and then the polar bear. Man, I don't know how Clem loses this, right?
Yeah, maybe that is the key to him winning these past dream hacks. It's like the power of the lucky star and the polar bear.
Yeah, probably. Looks like we're going to get some pretty standard openings here thus far. MAXPAX, of course, going for the Cyber and then the Nexus. And then also trying to delay Clem's command center by as much as possible. Looks like that probe is going to get quite low on health. Not quite enough to delay the command center, but all in all, a very standard opener from both players. Although we do see a very quick tech lab coming up for Clem. What does this indicate? Is this standard?
I think that kind of tells me that he might want to go for a 3 racks push. Of course, Lightshade, one of the smaller maps in the map pool alongside of like Beckett Industries. And, you know, throwing down that early tech lab, getting that early either concussive shells or stim or maybe combat shield. We should see a second and third racks being thrown down relatively soon. There we go, the second racks. And it's going to be up to MAXPAX to kind of scout this out, especially with that adept there. That should provide him some sort of scouting information, especially since the shade does usually reach up to that ramp area. That gives should give him some vision of that tech lab, because usually that would be maybe more of a reactor or some sort. But here we go. And go ahead and
right, yeah.
Oh, let's get.
That is unfortunate. Not quite being decisive enough to sort of, you know, decide whether or not to leave immediately or go for that SCV. But the good thing is that Adept did get off a crucial scout, seeing that, in fact, concussive shells were finished and it was just going to be a few marauders coming across the map. So shield battery has been started, is going to finish up in time for the opponent's arrival. And now it's going to be on to MAXPAX to defend this quite, you know, very early sort of push.
Alright, with that shield battery, I think, yeah, he should be able to pretty much hold on, no problem. And what do we see here? We actually see a little bit of a variation, not a 3 racks, but a 2 racks, but with +1. So, kind of a different take, a little bit of a deviation. And it's going to be interesting to see if this does actually work out in the end. Because, again, without that 3rd racks, not going to have as much units to stem and attack with.
Yeah, that's right. It's gonna definitely come down to the stim and the +1 timing to sort of get anything done, but we do see a couple of missile turrets as well, you know, taking advantage of the fact that the NG Bay was built. At the same time, Blink is about to finish, and so I believe we're gonna see, we might possibly see MAXPAX go for some aggression. Yep, we do see that War Prism started, and it looks like MAXPAX is planning to head across the map. But Stim will be done in time for that, so it's going to be very interesting to see how these two builds end up interacting as we go into sort of the later stages of the game.
Alright, Starport is going to be thrown down. I would imagine he is going to go ahead and maybe wait for those medevacs before attacking, but he can very well actually push ahead like right now, because +1 is about to finish, or maybe actually he might want to wait for +2 and then attack along with the medevacs, but we shall see. We shall see.
Man, +2, that is a very powerful push. Now, I don't think that Adept Shade managed to scout out the engineering bay, which was all the way in the back. Adepts, of course, have full vision range, but then their shades do not. So I think MAXPAX is going to try to, you know, get off a more thorough scout as he tries to harass with these 4 stalkers loaded up into the War Prism. Now, charge is going to be started. So looks like we're going to see, I think we're going to see a sort of Immortal Charge Lot Archon type of composition, maybe. You know, ICA, that kind of thing. But looks like that War Prism is not going to get too much done. The rest of the stalkers are going to be warped in on the low ground, sort of amassing before they, you know, commit to any sort of attack. Now, they will meet this bio out on the low ground. We do see that Blink Micro. Ooh, a very aggressive Blink Forward. Going to cost MAXPAX 1 stalker, but did shave off a lot of bio in the end. War Prism is going to join up, see if it can do some pickup micro at the same time. Just sort of keeping the bio at bay, making sure to buy MAXPAX enough time at home to, you know, set up for the eventual push.
I gotta say, Clem doing a really great job of microing. I mean, picking off, you know, stalkers here and there, but also picking off that observer that was providing vision for MAXPAX. And Clem, especially with that tank out, I think he should be okay against this Blink Stalker harass. But there is a War Prism at the backside. He's got to be worried about not quite responding quite yet, but he should have enough in the end to clean this up. Oh, wow.
Unfortunate. The bio from Clem is just barely able to pick off that War Prism before he could enter the sort of dead airspace corner of the map.
That pretty much, you know, stops any backdoor counterattacks. I mean, it could be the charge lot run-bys, but without that War Prism, there's nothing that can really warp into the base right now. So Clem is going to feel very confident to just move across the map without needing to worry too much that he is going to have like charge lot being warped into his main base.
That's right. Now we do see Clem setting up a tank on the low ground, and that is such a nice position up to the north side. However, the bio is pushed all the way back, meaning these 2 tanks are actually going to get immediately picked off by the Immortals and the Stalkers. So it's going to be a bit more of a tug of war than, you know, it first seems. That shield battery on the high ground doing pretty good, you know, making sure to keep the Protoss army alive. But it looks like Clem is going to go for a triple drop into the main base. And will MAXPAX respond on time? It doesn't look like that's the case. The first pylon is going to go down. Warp Prism, Warpin on the high ground is going to go down, but that is a key snipe as we do see the Robo Bay being picked off.
Yeah, that will cancel a thermal lance that was underway. Now, at this point, like if I was the Protoss, you could dabble with the option of just like make 1 Colossus and then just like transition to like maybe High Templars, because it's gonna take a while for that robotics bay to get up and running, and then you have to research thermal lance behind it. Or you can just continue on and, you know, try to rebuild that robotics bay and then continue making those Colossus. Thermal lance will be delayed, but at the very least you will have the Colossus ball. Looks like you will elect to continue this Colossus route. +2 on the way as well. But Clem, he is not giving up, or letting up rather, as he is once again knocking at the front door.
Yeah, and honestly, maybe this is just me, but this seems a lot more committed from the Terran. Knowing that +2/+2 has not been started. Oh, never mind. The reason why +2/+2 has not been started is in fact because an armory has not been built just yet. Now, shield battery overcharge has been popped, keeping the Terran at bay just for the time being. That observer just barely out of scan range, so it will stay alive just for a little bit while longer. But yeah, more Colossi are going to come out. Finally, Thermal Lance is restarted, almost halfway done. And Thermal Lance is going to help a lot in holding off this army, but that is one scary bio force. Now, at the same time, these Colossi, they still are doing quite decently, but that is so many Marauders. And of course, Colossi do not deal bonus damage against armored units.
Yeah, he only has 2 Colossus. I mean, he probably wants like maybe 3 to 4 right now. And oh, actually gets sniped down by these Vikings here. And oh man, MAXPAX looking to be in quite a large amount of trouble as his rest of his Colossus force does get sniped out. These Stim Marines and Marauders gonna go ahead and completely ravage and rampage this base. Clem with a game 1 solid victory. Alright, we are here for game number 2 on 2000 atmospheres. First player up here at the bottom left. We got our red Protoss player playing for Sidestorm Gaming. Give it up for MAXPAX.
And his opponent spawning in the top right corner of the map, playing as the blue Terran for the team of, or excuse me, for Team Liquid on match point. Can he close it out right here, right now? It is Clem.
I'm staying a little bit longer on Clem because, you know, gotta appreciate that cute star and polar bear.
That's right. 2 good luck charms if I've ever seen one. Yeah, that last game was quite unfortunate for MAXPAX. It just kind of seemed like Clem, you know, didn't really do anything too tricky. And what I mean by tricky is like, you know, harassing or multi-pronged attacks or anything like that. You know, anything that is considered more or less exceptionally difficult to handle. It just seemed like MAXPAX was not able to keep up economically. And then Clem, with his superior macro, was just able to overwhelm the Protoss army after a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, really nothing too extraordinary did pan out for Clem. It just seemed like a very, very like straight up game where it just seemed like Clem had like better macro and was able to just overwhelm MAXPAX. And so maybe it's just going to be up to MAXPAX to kind of do something to open up this game here. There's not really a lot of options. I mean, he can go for DTs or something, like a DT opening, and hope that it does kind of disrupt Clem to the point where he has a significant lead. But either way, he really needs to probably, you know, because Clem right now, I would say he's kind of on a higher level compared to MAXPAX. And so with that being said, you know, it's really going to come down to MAXPAX trying to, you know, deal some early game damage in order to put himself way ahead to the point where even if Clem does have a better overall macro, it's not going to matter in the end because MAXPAX is going to have enough to just attack and clean up Clem before it gets to that stage.
Yeah, definitely. Now, normally I would agree with you, but after seeing that Hero Probe survive on 1 health, I'm not too sure. I think that trumps the Happy Starface and the Polar Bear in terms of good luck. So, who knows? We will see. We will see.
Alright, so we did see a little bit of a change up here in terms of build order from Clem. Of course, in the last game, he opened up with 2 racks into +1. Not going to be the same opening here this time around. Going to be actually a 1-1-1 build. And the Adept does get a nice scout on that.
Alright, first Oracle is out. Just another scouting tool, as we do see that MAXPAX is still going to go into the Twilight Council as his tech of choice. Oh, but that Adept is actually just going to fall to the Hellions, so a little bit unfortunate for MAXPAX. These 2 Hellions were able to just roast the Adept to death. Very painful way to go, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of his focus was here on the front base of MAXPAX, where he had a group of Marines, but in the end, he loses all 7 Marines. That Oracle actually did came in the clutch, as well as that shield battery. It did a nice job helping out with the defense. And all in all, MAXPAX will be able to start getting his 3rd base, start getting his economy up and rolling, and gonna start actually making Phoenixes, which is gonna be helpful because considering this map has a lot of drop areas, these Phoenixes can do a really great job trying to deny these annoying drops of Clem throughout the mid and late game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, charge has been started, so it looks like the main force of MAXPAX is still going to be ground-based, but like you said, those Phoenixes are invaluable, will be invaluable in, you know, picking off stray units and whatnot. Now, speaking of picking up stray units, looks like they will begin to engage this Viking. 3 Phoenixes are enough to handle 1 Cyclone and 1 Viking, as I have just learned today. You learn something new every day. I like it.
Yep, StarCraft, one of those games that you just seems to can learn something new every single game and or every single day. And looks like Clem is gonna looking to put on some pressure here at this third base. I'm not quite sure if this is gonna work out because I don't know about you, but that army kind of looks quite puny to me.
Yeah, it does look quite small. Now, I think that the hope for MAXPAX, or excuse me, the hope for Clem is that this is hitting so early that, you know, obviously charge is not done yet. But yeah, realistically, it's not going to get anything done. And it looks like both players will agree as, but MAXPAX getting just a little bit careless with the Phoenixes, not able to react in time to the second Widowmine. Now, to be fair, that requires very, very quick reaction time, and we are very spoiled as casters and as audiences because we see players showcasing their excellent reaction times all the time. Regardless, losing a Phoenix and then a second Phoenix to the leftover Marines, not a good start for the Protoss.
Yeah, and also that Orko, because that Orko can provide him revelation ability, whether it's revelating the main army to see where Clem's army is, or whether it's those Widowmines that if you can revelate them, you can kind of pick them up with those Phoenixes before they can shoot out. And so right now, MAXPAX, he is not going to have those detection there, but he is going to have those charge lot. Going to go ahead and start charging away on top of these Marines. He's going to go ahead and quit. Oh!
That might have turned the tide in Clem's favor, because look at that. All of these Zealots are way too low health to deal any sort of damage. All of them actually just melted to the rest of the Marines. That was such a good Widowmine hit, I have to say. Wow.
Yeah, that was extraordinary, and I didn't even see that Widowmine there. So
yeah, me neither.
yeah, so nice little pop there, and that will provide Clem the ability to stabilize this third base and start mining off of those mineral patches.
It's like these Phoenixes are just gonna, you know, keep spotting the bio army, which is pretty much all that they can do at this point. And MAXPAX is, you know, still trying to make some more Phoenixes apparently, but we do see a round of Zealots that is sorely, sorely needed, because this Bioforce is a little bit bigger than the last one, and it's got a couple of Widowmines, and, you know, you've got Stim, and, you know, excuse me, not +1 melee. Oh my god, these Widowmines. +1 infantry weapons is just about to finish a semi-decent force field, not supported by extra force field, so it's not going to be able to cut off these Marines. Actually helping out the Marines because these Zealots are going to get wrapped around. And another Widowmine hit. Overall, this is just, you know, it's going to come down to a pretty close fight for MAXPAX. And if Clem has it his way, he's just going to keep growing his lead.
Yeah, I think eventually MAXPAX should be able to clean this up, or at least hold ground, but I mean, I feel like Clem has been so much more efficient with this army force, and right now he is pulling ahead by a lot, and that's good news. Now, normally the Bio unit Terran does have a bigger supply compared to the Protoss, but I feel like with +1/1 as well, it's like this is not a army to laugh at. I mean, this can potentially just outright kill MAXPAX as the reinforcement does go ahead and join up with the remaining forces.
Now, I do just want to note that second Widowmine actually dealt a nasty amount of friendly fire, I do have to say. That was, I mean, Clem's probably kicking himself over that right now. Not that it matters, you know, because again, like you said, he's just been pulling ahead in supply, whereas his opponent has been struggling to stay afloat above 100 supply. And look at that, another bunch of drone kills, and this is just, excuse me, not drone kills, but probe kills. Wow, I am starting to hallucinate right now, but yeah, another multi-pronged attack, it looks like, as Clem is setting up for another Bioforce. up to the north side, going towards the natural. And guess what? There's nothing left at the natural. These Widow Mines are going to have free reign over the front. Some Zealots are going to come down from the main side, but it looks like, yeah, this is not going to go well. Oh my gosh, those Widow Mines.
Yeah, this just has been getting so much hits, not only on the army, but also on the probe line. And Clem, just doing what Clem does best. Just out-macroing and out-microing his opponents to death. And MAXPAX has suffered heavy losses. Man, this is going to be such a tough position for him. He's down to 175 to 123 supply. A semi-doom drop, a 4 medevac drop here into the main base, which is going to pull a lot of his army to the left side while this dirt base is absolutely open. And, oh man, even getting in a nice tucked-in position where these charge line not going to be able to get as much surface area.
Yeah, I was just about to say, these Phoenixes are desperately trying to gun down those medevacs, but you know, three Phoenixes are not going to have the DPS to gun down all of it before any sort of serious damage occurs. Now, speaking of serious damage, let's look back at the third Nexus, and that is being absolutely ravaged as the Bio basically has free reign over the front of it. Now, finally, we do see some Zealots coming back, some Archons coming back to deal with it, but this is the power of multi-pronged harass, is that if you gain an advantage, and if you're basically, you know, trading to the point where it's efficient enough, you can guarantee a win. And GG is called. Clem takes the series.